Well, Jim Chalmers has been forced to admit he doesn't know when an Australian government will be able to again deliver a surplus. Let's go live to Political Editor Andrew Clennell. Andrew, no one able to give a real solid answer on this. What more can you tell us?
Well, on Sunday Agenda yesterday, the pause tells you everything, I think, here. The Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, he delivered the first surplus of a Treasurer in Australia for 15 years. He boasted about it for 2 years, but now he can't commit to another surplus at all, suggesting we're about to face another decade of deficits. When do you anticipate an Australian government could next deliver a surplus?
Well, it remains to be seen. Certainly our efforts have been about trying to make the budget as responsible as we can, some savings.
Well, there is one way to produce a surplus, and it's controversial. It involves heavily cutting back the NDIS and the entitlements of people. And there's 700,000 people on that scheme. It's $50 billion, about the size of one of the surpluses. Jane Hume, the Shadow Finance Minister, actually suggested, and this is the first time the opposition's done this in recent times, that they would look at the NDIS again. Labor's made some small cuts to it. They would look at it again if they hit office. This is something Jim Chalmers leapt all over, but here was Jane Hume yesterday.
You know as well as I do, Andrew, that the NDIS, for instance, is one of those areas in the budget that has run out of control. It was growing at 14% per annum. Now, when we went into opposition, the coalition said to the government that we would work with them to rein in that spending and get it under control.
Frankly, that seems pretty critical to the budget, reining in the NDIS. Do you have some sort of target in mind in terms of the growth that you'd like to see in it, or even cuts to it?
Well, I think the most important thing, Andrew, is in the long term that all government spending doesn't grow faster than the economy itself.
She also indicated a Dutton government would cut about 10% of the public service. She wanted it back to post-COVID levels, which is 36,000 less public servants. It's the clearest anyone's been so far in the opposition about the public service cuts that they intend to make if they hit office.
We think that the 36,000 public servants that have been brought on haven't demonstrated that the improvements to the services to the public have been corresponding. We think we can bring it back down to levels that were at the end of COVID, not the beginning of COVID, I might add, at the end of COVID, and still deliver on the expectations of the taxpayer. Because let's face it, the services haven't improved, but the cost and size of the public service has expanded and bloated exponentially.
Also key and an interesting part of the budget are the forecasts on migration. The Treasury yesterday indicating that there will be a further cut to net migration. He's arguing we've got it down from 500,000 a year coming in as opposed to out, to around the mid-200s, and it looks like they're going to keep going on that front, with Peter Dutton promising to cut even further.
Well, we are managing the net overseas migration numbers down quite considerably. I think it was last week, from memory, in the migration figures, they were about 10,000 people fewer than what was anticipated. The budget will update all of those forecasts, but what they will show overall is the trajectory is down. That's deliberate.
So will it be 230,000? Will it be less?
You'll see in the budget.
Because the students are still coming in big numbers, aren't they?
You'll see in the budget.
The fourth budget of the term, the first time it's happened since the 1940s, 4 in a term, Holly, Tuesday night. Thursday night, Peter Dutton's budget reply speech. The Prime Minister more likely than not, I think, to go and call the election on Sunday. And the tip is the budget reply speech, one big policy from Peter Dutton before Anthony Albanese calls that election. The tip is it will be the opposition's gas policy, Holly.
OK, Andrew, thank you.